Hey, what's up? It's Joey Little, your social little man here with another Facebook Live, another podcast, another discussion to have with all of you that are going to be joining me live on the Facebooks and those of you that are catching the replay on the podcast or on YouTube, Pinterest, etc., etc. Interesting topic today. Has to do with what I've been seeing in my news feed, and maybe you've been seeing it in your news feed as well. So, welcome to the show. A little bit later today too, got some feedback from my buddies and lady friends out on the. I'm feeling better. Thanks, Lizelle joining. Yeah. Hello, Jared. All my buddies out on the West Coast. John, you may be able to attest to this, but I usually go live about 10 to 11 a.m. daily. But my boy Jeff Scobin with the Galpin Auto Group out in LA. What's up, Matt? Thanks for joining. Nikki's here, my hometown. Hello, Nikki. But say, hey, man, you're going at 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning, man. I'm just driving into work through LA traffic. I can't really watch it. Exactly. John's saying it's too late or too early. So try something a little bit different today. I was going to go at 3 o'clock today, but as you know, if you look at your watch, it's 3:20. So just a little bit behind. What's up, Kevin? Calling me out the Joey Bags. That's right. Hey, I appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys coming in here. Today I want to talk about how if you hate Facebook, it's your fault. Because I've seen a plethora of, posts, believe it or not, a plethora of posts, and I do believe that they're politically kind of inspired, of people saying that they're just sick and tired of Facebook because of all the negativity or all the crap that's going through. Hi, Nikki. I need to come back to Topeka soon. I need to see all you guys back there. I haven't been back for a long time, but they talk about how they want to get rid of Facebook or they hate Facebook because they have a plethora of negativity that's going through their newsfeed, or basically a lot of stuff that's going through their newsfeed that they do not agree with, right? I did see, Brad, I saw you posted that Gary Vaynerchuk was going to be on Joe Rogan's podcast. I haven't had to check it out, but I do want to see how that went. Two great, actually Joe Rogan with a great podcast. So a whole different story, but yeah, definitely. Thanks for putting it out there so I could see it. I saw it on Instagram as well. Kevin Campbell nails it on the head. Absolutely. Kevin, you are the man. You control your feed on Facebook, right? Jared wants to know where the NADA interview videos are. Hey, man, I got a whole team here that's putting them together. They're going to look really good. Big production behind it, but we'll talk about it at another time. Jared, I appreciate it. Jared was on the Fuse News at NADA. Great interview with Jared and digital marketing and what he is doing at his dealership group to make some changes and make it for the better. But getting back to what Kevin said, and also Terry Lancaster, you control what's in your Facebook newsfeed. So the analogy that I came up with to try to describe how Facebook how Facebook is for these people that are complaining that they only see negativity in their newsfeed is this. If you go to the grocery store, right, and I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely hate check the podcast. Hold on, guys, a little bit because the Facebook Live is trying to catch up here. The signal's a little slow, but Fuse News is bigger than Blue's Clues. That's true, Brad. But when you go to the grocery store, and I'll tell you, there's 3 foods that I absolutely hate. I mean, I hate them, right? So if anybody is out there going to help me write my biography, canned tuna, like cheap canned tuna, ooh. Canned green beans and peas, right? Those are the 3 things that I just do not like. My mother had to have a separate Tupperware bowl when I was a kid, raised by a single mom. And I don't remember what color it was, but she had a separate Tupperware bowl because she loved tuna salad or tuna helper or whatever it was. And she used that disgusting, smelly ass tuna that came in a can. And she put it, and I knew that if I saw that Tupperware in the refrigerator, do not open that lid. It was just the smell that would actually blow me away. Now, canned green beans, same thing. I don't care how many times you guys bring that to the Thanksgiving dinner, the whole canned green beans with the onion ring stuff on top. I'm not eating it. I don't want to be near it. And the same thing with peas. The only place I like peas is like 2 or 3 of them in my fried rice. That's it. So I don't have to and everything else, man, look at me. I'll eat anything. So imagine if I went to the grocery store and I picked up 6 cans of green beans, right? A case of tuna, and a bunch of frozen peas. And then later on, I decide while I'm at home, days later, that I'm hungry and I want to go get something to eat. And I open up the fridge and I get ticked off, pissed. Like, oh man, who's stuck in this fridge? Chicken or pork fried rice? Either one, I like them both. Thanks, Jared. And I get pissed off at my refrigerator and mad because there's nothing in there I like. Kevin says same thing for me with canned tuna. Won't even be in the same room with the stuff. Kevin, thank you, brother. I've not met anybody on the same level with me with that. And definitely, there's something wrong with canned tuna. I knew people that were just eating it out of the can, and it just makes me sick. Lizelle says the whole tuna bean pea example reminds me why I avoid Walmart. Wie geht's, Klaus? All the way from Germany. But if you get pissed off, there's only one person you need to get pissed off if you're standing in front of your refrigerator, right, or your cupboard, and you're hungry, and all you have is stuff that you don't like. I don't like tuna in a bag either. I like fresh tuna. I appreciate, I love oh, you don't like boiled eggs. I do like boiled eggs, Kevin. But if I get pissed off because there's nothing in my fridge that I want to eat, there's only one person I can be mad at, and that's me. It's the same thing with Facebook. If I go to Facebook to be entertained or to check in my newsfeed and I'm pissed off because there's nothing but crap in my newsfeed, it's my own fault for following people that I just don't either agree with or make me upset or emotionally, right? It's your own fault. Now, I've gotten in trouble with this before because I've said on this podcast a month or two ago, Lizelle can kind of appreciate this because she's in every one of these podcasts, and I love that she's here every single time. And we had a conversation kind of about it on the off the interwebs, right? Or on the interwebs, but off the video. And I said, I don't like following somebody on Facebook if they don't provide if they don't provide value to me, right? And maybe I should maybe kind of dissect that a little bit more. Meaning, this is what I mean. If I don't agree with you, right, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. If it gets to the part where I completely disagree with you based off of principles, like if you say racist things on Facebook, then I'm not going to be your friend anymore. If you are trolling me, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Now, does this mean that I just delete people every day? Absolutely not. Jared says, what's your thoughts, Joey, on following competitive dealers and get the consumer experiences they're serving to better implement a strategy? Absolutely. I follow every competitor that AutoAlert has, every single one of them. I follow just so not only can I keep abreast of what new stuff that they're pushing out or what their marketing campaign is, but it's there. And I also even set it up so I get alerted every time they post something so I can see what it is. Not only on Facebook, but also on Twitter and also my Google Alerts. But when it comes to what my news feed is, I own that. I own the news feed. I'm able to hide somebody if I don't want to actually delete them from Facebook. So I'm trying to think. I've got a few family members, right, that I don't agree with, and I kind of get sick of reading the stuff or seeing it in my newsfeed. And you know what? Really, it just takes a little bit to scroll past it. I mean, if you want to get that upset about what you're seeing in your newsfeed, then there's a lot more things to be upset about in this world than Uncle so and so posting that he's a hardcore whatever Republican or liberal, and this is the way that life should be and stuff. I get it on both sides, and I think all of us see this. It comes down to this. There's a certain amount of people that really give a crap about what you post, and there's a certain amount of people that disagree with what you post, but the majority of people just don't give a crap. They don't. They just are connected with you, and it's there for them an opportunity. It's an entertainment forum that people have that they just keep themselves. I went to the doctor this morning, right? Apparently, I need to back off my stress level. I've had way too much stress in my life in the last 90 to 180 days. It's really affecting me, and I need to really kind of focus on less stress, right? But when I was at the doctor's office, that was just an insight to you that follow me on Facebook and saw what I was talking about earlier. That's really it's really affected my health. So the stress level's got to bring it down, or I got to take things not so serious. But I was scrolling through my newsfeed, right? I wasn't doing it because I had to. I was doing it because I wanted to be entertained. I wanted to be entertained at the same time and just like seeing what people are saying. I like seeing what people are out there. And I'll tell you right now, I don't mind all of the political stuff. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind the people that are in my newsfeed that are hardcore Trump supporters, and it doesn't matter what he says or what he does. They're going to support whatever he says and everything he does, and they're against the media and against all that. I don't mind that. I like reading their thoughts, their point of view of what's going on in the world when it comes to that. At the same time, those that are completely against Trump, those that are completely against the establishment or whatever this is, so I enjoy reading those as well. It goes on both sides. It's just entertaining to me to see the insights or the views of the different people that I follow on Facebook. Now, if I got tired of somebody and maybe they're being harsh or they're being mean spirited, not being opinionated, but just mean, then I'll stop. I'll just stop following them, or I'll defriend them, and I've got no problem doing that. I've got none. It doesn't mean that I don't like you anymore. It just means that you're ruining my vibe on my entertainment that I'm trying to do while I'm sitting in my doctor's office reading posts. Right? You're just ruining my vibe, and you've gotten past the point where I'm just done scrolling past you. Right? And it's not just political, but it's also sales, right? You've got to find that right mixture of what you're going to put out there. Now, it's your Facebook, just like it's your refrigerator, right? You can put whatever you want in it, except for severed heads and body parts. That's, I think, against the law in a Jeffrey Dahmer type way. But talking normally, that it is yours. It is your. I can't come into your house. Look at this. If Lizelle invites me to her home, like she invites me to be a Facebook friend, and I go into her home and I completely disagree with the picture she has up on her wall, and I completely disagree with the color scheme that she has in her house, it is none of my damn business to tell her that she needs to change it, right? If it bothers me enough, I just won't go back to Lizelle's house. Just won't. But if it's enough where I can just get over it, like seriously, there's bigger things in the world to worry about than what Jimmy Bob, my friend who lives in Texas, is complaining about the pipeline, oil pipeline that's going through the country. Like, if it bothers me, I just stop following him and just stop. So, but what I want you to think about is, I get this. This is funny. And it's going to just change it a little bit here. My house is cool, though. One day, I'll come over, we'll have some coffee, we'll hang out, Lizelle. I'll check out the pictures on the wall. And where was I going with this? You got to think about yourself, too. When I delete somebody from Facebook, and they notice it, and they reach out to me, and they say, hey, listen, we're not friends on Facebook anymore. What happened? Why'd you delete me? What I would like for that person to do is maybe think back of the stuff that they've been putting online and maybe answer the question themselves. Maybe answer the question about maybe I'm just maybe I said I'm mean, etc., but they really don't have to. But that's just why do I got to tell you? Because you're a dick, right? And you're trolling people and you just put things out there that are absolutely misleading and absolutely just mean stuff, right? So I agree to say that if you are sick of Facebook because of the news that you're seeing in your newsfeed, it is your fault. And you can quit being a victim about how everybody else out there is just so negative all the time, right? You need new friends. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's time for you to go in and trim the herd and bring in new friends that want to think more the way that you think, right? So then your news feed is all happy and exciting and exactly what you want to see, right? But the thing is you're going to be stuck in a box and you're not going to know what's going on outside that box, and that is crappy, man. So on the podcast, thanks for joining. If you want to join on the Facebook Lives, it's facebook.com/social little man. We're letting the Facebook catch up a little bit here. Sorry for all views with a little bit of in the broadcast here. So yes, I believe that. I do believe that. I read that's dangerous. I read a study that said that kids, or maybe they're just miserable. That's true. I do believe sometimes I read, well, I'm going to give you two different stories here. Let me start with the second one first. If you guys that don't know, I was in broadcasting for 8 years, right? I just put something out yesterday about how I was Joey Bags on Topeka's Rock Leader V100, back selling Nickelback and Saliva for 8 years. Whew. And getting hit on by women so that they could get free tickets to go see WWE at the Kansas Expo Center. But I learned a lot of stuff. Just there is so much just useless knowledge in my head from all the show prep that I had to do. And one of those things that I learned was just like there's people out there that are pyromaniacs, that are attracted to fire, right? That if there's a giant blaze, they're attracted to it and they got to be there and it's just wonderful and they love it and it makes them feel good inside. And if there is no fire available for them to watch or experience, then they will create their own fire, right? And what I learned is the same thing happens when it comes to, let's just use the word drama, right? There are people that are attracted to drama, absolutely attracted to it. And they're the ones that are in everybody's business. They're asking questions, right? They're asking questions like, seriously, why is this person asking me? I mean, they seem like they care, but most of the time, I don't want to say most of the time, it makes me sound like a pessimist, but a lot of the time, it's just because they're attracted to it. They're just attracted to drama. Like, what's going on between you and so-and-so, right? Or what's going on? Why'd you get yelled? Like, that's just, they're attracted to it, right? And they're drawn to it like a moth to a flame, and they love it, and they love it. And here's the problem: is that if there's no drama around, they will create it. They'll absolutely create it, just like a person starting a fire, and they'll step back and they'll watch it and they'll see it go down, and they're like, oh, right? They'll create that, and that happens online as well. It's just how it happens. It's what goes down. And so if you see it through the news feed, if there's people that's creating that kind of thing, it's maybe because they're just yearning for it. It's just what they want. Kind of like Krispy Kreme donuts, man. I haven't had a Krispy Kreme donut in like a year, but man, do I yearn for them. Warm right out of the, thing. So the second thing that I wanted to bring up about making your own box. If you created your Facebook profile or created your Facebook newsfeed with the people that you follow on Facebook, and you got everybody thinking the same way that you think, and you're only going to follow, if you're a liberal or, and you're only going to follow people that believe the same thing you believe, so your newsfeed is all happy and flowers, and yeah, Trump sucks, and, we're going to rise again, and screw this Supreme Court nominee, and they believe that you're going to be in your box, right? But what I learned from reading and the show prep for years and years is that a study came out for kids that attended multiple schools in multiple different cultural aspects, meaning that if they were moved from Lexington, Kentucky, and then had to live in LA for a year, maybe military kids, right? What it proved was those kids that were in that situation tended to be more accepting of other cultures, of other ideas, of outside, expanding. Yeah, Diana says expanding your knowledge, learn from everyone. Is they found out that these kids tend to be less in a bubble, right? Instead of going to the same school, the same people, the same habits. I always tell you, right, I grew up in Topeka, Kansas, right? I'm in Kansas City now, big city. I grew up 70 miles that way. So if you're watching on and it's reversed, actually, it's that way. West of, if you know anything about Topeka, Kansas, there's a few things we're famous for, right? Let me get into that first, but I'm going to read Nikki's. I have a friend that has a Facebook solely to look at everybody's drama that they post. I like where I watch it. You don't grow, you don't learn. You aren't resilient. You can't sustain your own views. Where I grew up, I knew one Jewish family. One Jewish family in the entire city that I lived in. It was like 120,000 people in this city. I knew one Jewish family, right? It was huge that we had a black man on our football team. I think we had like three black guys on our football team. It was like, it was a culture. Whoa, what's Jet Magazine? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just staying in my own bubble. Lizelle says, best yet when people tell me I can or cannot be friends with, or they will defriend me. Okay. That's just, there's a lot of drama that people are drawn to. Now remember it like this. Just remember it as a sickness. It just is. People are just drawn to it. They just are. They're just drawn to it. And a lot of times the people that are complaining that their newsfeed is full of crap, not everyone. So if you've done this, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm not talking about you specifically. Is that maybe they just have a thing that they're just attracted to it. Why do you think reality TV is just so huge? Or it was there for a while. It still is. Because it's just drama filled. It just helps people fill that need that they need of some kind of like dramatic sequences. And I know people like my grandfather who just wanted to stay completely away from drama, man. Completely away. That's why he watched nothing but John Wayne movies. That was it. That's all he did was watch John Wayne movies, because there's no drama in John Wayne movies. There's just a tough guy killing the bad guys, saving the girl, saving the town, right? Riding away on a horse. No drama. Not at all. So if you hate Facebook, if you hate your newsfeed, it's your fault. It's your fault. No other person's fault. It's not anybody that you're following's fault. It's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault. It's your fault. So if you're hungry and you go to a refrigerator, or your refrigerator, freezer, or cupboard, and all you got is green beans, peas, and tuna, and you're pissed off, you walk right into your restroom or your bathroom mirror and say, "You are an asshole." So that's what I like about this whole thing. I just did this. I did this in NADA last. I forgot who I was talking to, but when you point a finger, there's 3 of them pointing back at you. It's yeah, I can't say the word. Heather, thank you. Still wrapped up from NADA. Sociopathic behavior. Any questions, concerns you want to talk about? We've been going for about 20 minutes today. It's been really, really interesting. Not calling anybody out. I just want you guys to help me spread the word that if somebody hates Facebook, it's their freaking fault. It just is. Meanwhile, I invite all of you over to my new place in downtown Kansas City to come and look and see how I arranged my house or arranged my flat or apartment or condo, whatever you call it, and tell me that my pictures are wrong and that my color scheme's wrong. And no, if you've ever been a part of this whole Facebook Live, you would understand where that came from. So thank you so much for joining in on the Facebook Live. Thank you so much for being, that was Ben. You guys have been burned. You know what we didn't do? We didn't talk about couples accounts on Facebook. Jamie Faulkner grew up in the town, 2,000 people. Believe me, there were some closed-minded people there. They're still there, aren't they, Jamie? Absolutely. We're going to talk about couples Facebook accounts later on, or how you guys are creeping in each other's. Chris wants some Kansas City barbecue. It's been a great day. We knocked this out. Everybody on the West Coast should be happy. Please, I ask you right now, if you just share this post, I'll be forever indebted to you. I will put you on my Christmas card list, even though I don't really send out Christmas cards, but I will absolutely put you on the Christmas card list. Kevin says couples accounts, somebody cheated. Or somebody is technologically doesn't know what they're doing. I've learned that too. There's couples out there that the wife and the husband, and the wife needs the husband on there just to see what's going on, even though he doesn't log in. So anyway, so have a great day. I really appreciate it. Great feedback. Please share this video. Share this video with your Facebook newsfeed. Tag me in it. I'd love to see the background. Meanwhile, I've got to get out of here. Finish up some work, and yeah, so the rest of you have a great day. You know what to do. Keep smiling.